I want to show you a couple of things here that command our attention. First, didn't we just talk about this on Monday? Didn't we just talk about this? And we talked about a specific type of house as far as size and price point that's being built. We talked about a specific type of market. And we talked about what we need to monitor as it relates to how to monetize the situation up until the point that it starts to deflate. Now, the problem that builders are having is there's not enough inventory and there's not enough lots to build single-family detached dwelling houses on. Now, let's go over this article for a second, all right? There's no way we could have planned this. We just talked about this, all right, on Monday. And so we need to go and look at how we can monetize this up until the point that it's no longer monetizable on the call option side, and we come back in on the put option side, okay? Now, let me read through this article with you very quickly here. This is wonderful, family. This is monetizable information, all right? This right here is, we have our ITB and our XHB, right? ITB is our first choice. XHB is our secondary choice. Everything we've gone over, all right? It talked about this particular ETF had fallen for a while, all right? And then it says about 2 months before the bond would fall out of the market and investors would endure their worst year ever since the financial crisis, the housing market was the market's canary in the coal mine, all right? This is back in October, okay? Now, and that was October of what? 2018. Then the article says, fast forward 14 months and the housing market in the U.S. is taking off. We already know that. We've been beating the brakes off of it and getting PAID from our as well as to holding strategy, letting our micro move our macro, coming in on ITB, and secondarily to XHB, okay? Now, let's continue. This is just confirming everything we've already known, and we bear witness to it by the profits that we've been generating. Look at this. On Tuesday, the November data on housing starts and building permits show permits issued for all new private home construction hit the highest level since May 2007. Now, if it hit the highest level, that means what? Are mortgage applications going to be up or going to be down? Because they're not going to build the houses unless they have people that are willing to go out and buy them. There you go, Jillian, up. Look at how we see this monetizable information in here, confirming what we already know, all right? Thus, we should continue to get paid from it as long as we can. Look at this now. Permits issued for new single-family homes totaled the most since August 2007. Duh. Easy money. While permits for new multifamily homes rose to 4-year high. November also marked the 5th straight month that building permits have topped expectations. Duh. Okay, you go on down. All right, now, look at are these McMansions? Or are these the type of homes we were talking about on Monday? Yes, look at the units. Look at the type of homes they're building. We're dead on it. Let me continue. All right. Now, Tuesday housing data also followed the home builder sentiment report released Monday that showed optimism is at a 20-year high. Cha-ching, cha-ching. All right. Now, watch this. Through Tuesday's close, XHB, which is our secondary position, they don't even mention ITB, was up over 40% this year. Okay, and trading just below a record high hit back in early 2018. Now, this was published when? Today. We've been getting PAID from this information all year, and we just talked about it on Monday. There's no way we could have planned this. And to double confirm this, watch this. Watch this now. Oh, here it comes. It's up. Not a 0.50 yet. Give it time. And the XHB is up. Okay? Now, would we go into it today yet? Two things. Is it 10 o'clock yet? No. Is that 0.50 yet? No. But are we on point with our research? Yes. Like King Mike Palmer just sent across. We see now what others see eventually. Now, the thing that they aren't saying anything about, because yes, we're getting paid from this right now, but we've got to stay out in front. We've got to also see now what others see, what others see eventually from this standpoint. Go back, harken back to that movie, The Big Short. Okay? What was the problem that caused the housing bubble to burst? Two things: credit quality and adjustable rate mortgages. I repeat, credit quality and adjustable rate mortgages. Now, the home builders are building like crazy now because they don't care. They build the houses, they sell it to people with subprime credit. They get their money, they move on. And if the people default, well, then that's the judicial system with the foreclosures and the people who are holding the mortgages, the mortgage company's fault and their problem, but not the home builders. The home builders build, get their money, and move on. Now, let me give you the insider canary in the mine indicator that you need to always look out for. Because when this happens, what I'm about to show you and tell you about, when this happens, mortgages, okay, end up moving to the downside as a result of defaults. People start defaulting on their mortgages when the following occurs. And the thing that I'm talking about is when you start seeing repo rates on automobiles rise. Put this in your notes. When people start missing payments on their automobiles, his history has shown that shortly thereafter, the default rates with regards to mortgages rise. So the smart person, the smart trader and investors, while you see all of this, you love it. And we're monetizing it. But like King Mike Palmer said, we got to see now what others see eventually. This is not going to go on. Because as a result of job automation, which we discussed on Monday, and these adjustable rate mortgages resetting, it's going to set, once again, the precedence for a situation like in the movie The Big Short, which chronicled the 2007-2008 real estate bubble that burst and deflated. Now, this is the bank that is the largest holder of subprime automobile loans in the United States. Listen to me. Monitor anything and everything pertaining to Banco Santander, because they are the canary in the coal mine. When they start recording late payments, default rates rising, et cetera, that is the precursor to mortgage payments being missed by people. Keep up with this particular bank because they're huge in the sub-credit score automobile financing arena. Okay, very, very, very important. All right. Now, I want to see if they mention in their profile that they are big in the automobile loan arena. Hold 1 second here. Okay, together with to provide various retail banking, and it offers demand, da 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 da. Let me see about these cars, these automobile loans. Okay, because that's mobile banking, da 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 da. Okay, that's one of their major income streams for their banks. Okay, now this syndicated corporate loans, that could possibly be a veiled description of the automobile loans, because what they do is Mercedes-Benz Credit Corp and other companies that do things like that. Let's see, somebody said automobile. Yeah, there you go, auto finance. Thank you, Queen Zenobia. Oh, eagle eye. Savannah, Georgia. That's it. That's what I was looking for. So the majority of the people that get automobile loans and they don't go to buy here, pay here lots, Bank Santander is the one behind them. Those automobile entities that are selling the loans, selling the cars, and to people who have subprime credit. And these loans are financed by Bank Santander. So I need for you to connect the dots now. When we see that Bank Santander is reporting an increase in their default rate, then we know that the housing bubble is coming soon thereafter. We're clear on the cause and effect and how to align these two. Okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's right. And somebody just said that they charge, high interest rates. That's right. Because they're lending to subprime credit people. So I just thought it was very interesting how right now the housing market is really, really blowing up, and they're doing the exact same thing that they did in 2007 and 2008. And it's amazing how quickly people forget. So we're going to ride this thing out, okay, on the call side and monetize all things housing. But like King Mike said, we're going to pay attention now. We've got to continue to see now what others see eventually and know about things like Bank Santander. Okay, we're going to be monitor all these other salient associative points so we can gauge when to get on the other side of the trade and get PAID. Any questions on this? So now let me ask you this. Based upon that article that we just read and everything else that I just presented to you pertaining to the housing industry and the way it's going right now, okay, what do you think? We're going to connect some dots right now. Thank you, King Mike. Honor to serve. We're going to connect some dots right now. I'm going to show you something now. Okay. Now, come off of Econo Day. I'm going to the economic calendar. All right. I'm going to show you now. Now watch this. We talked about this on Monday with the housing market. Then we see just what we said is confirmed in the article that came out today. We're already out in front. You remember me showing you this number? I said if it's anything 71, 72, 73 or above, ITB and XHB would be up. This report came out while we were still in the midst of the virtual trader room. I kicked back and showed you this. Was ITB and XHB up? They sure were. Okay? Listen, this is not difficult. I'm showing you how to do these things to get paid. Now, come back. Okay? I indicated to you, okay, if this is up, then on Tuesday, when this comes out, this was going to be up, and ITB and XHB was going to be up again. Watch this. These numbers got to be up based upon this. Watch. Came out at 8:30 in the morning yesterday. Is this number in this range right here? That's the consensus range, what they wanted to be in. Is this number higher than that number? Is this number higher than that number? XHB and ITB was up yesterday again, right? We told you this. Now, let's move to today. Watch it now. When we come to today, this right here, when I click on that number, it has to be up because this report is up, this is up, and you just read the article with me. So watch this. Watch how I'm moving now. Now, when we come here, this says this is the prime number. Now, this right here, these numbers are less than these numbers. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. You see? Hold on. There's no way. Look at this. See, this is responding directly to this. This is very interesting. Watch this. This is why you come in here live. This has to be down then too. It is. See, they're mirroring one another. Now notice the time. It's 9:53, moving to 10 o'clock. This is why we also wait to 10 o'clock to see. But family, we need to pay attention to this because this is highly unusual. This is mortgage applications. See, this is saying mortgage applications are down from the prior report. However, all these are up. Housing starts are up. Please pay close attention. See, here, 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 here. So housing starts are up. We come over here, housing market index is up. ITB has been up for the last 2 days. See right there? ITB has been up the last 2 days, reflecting this information. But when we get here, mortgage applications is down. Now, every so often, what they'll do is they'll come back. Well, those of you that are elders in the Wealth Institute, you've seen this, and they'll issue what is called revised numbers, which means they change the numbers after. Okay, yeah, King Mike says he's seen them do that as well. That's right. Family members, this is very interesting. Something in the milk ain't clean. Because there's no way mortgage applications can be down and the other two indicators be up. This is why you come in the virtual trader room live. Put an asterisk by this. And this is also why we always wait, even though we look and we see, yeah, you know, everything looks fine. We wait till 10 o'clock because Let the market settle, because this is a very strange phenomenon, and you never know when this might happen. And this is too weird. So something in the milk's not clean, because there's no way the other two reports could be positive and this one come in, which is a reflection. See, mortgage applications are subsequent to these other two things, i.e. the U.S. housing market and the housing starts. So if these two are up, how could this be down? This is real interesting. Thank God for us knowing to hold off to 10 o'clock, okay, and not jump into positions off the rip. But this does, like King Garnell is saying, somebody's not telling the truth. There's no way this could be down. These numbers could be down, because see, the market is responding directly to these numbers. Okay, that's why we see ITB down. But how could the number be down? Now, let me show you something to let you know that something really is not right. Oh, this is beautiful. Watch this now. Because the institutional investors are looking at this as well. And they're asking the same question we're asking right now at 9:56 a.m. How in the hell could these numbers, do you see how much further down this is than that? This is 0.50. This is positive 3.8. This is 0.20 to the downside. This is 0.4 to the down. These are huge differentials. This is 0.90 to the upside. And it's saying the actual now is negative 7 point. These are huge, like King Mike is saying, demonstrably different numbers. Now, if these numbers are this demonstrably different, then when I go to ITB, this should be down like 1 point something percent, not just 0.20. It should be down demonstrably as well. Listen to me now, because you're seeing something. This is a very teachable moment. The mere fact that at 9:57, 2 minutes before 10 a.m., it's down, but it's not even down 0.50. That lets me know the institutional investors, the hedge fund managers, the dark pool managers, they're saying the same thing. They're saying, wait a minute. Something not right. Let's don't just ditch our positions altogether on the put option side with regards to this. We need to see, pick up the phone and call and see what's going on. See it even rising slightly now. See who the hell issued this right here. Double check these numbers. Y'all get this? Because there's no way these numbers could be down this much off of these numbers right here, and this right here just be tracking at 0.29 and pulling up. So what's happening now, there's a plethora of phone calls going back and forth and saying, double check those numbers. Because if those numbers are indeed accurate, this would be down 1.30 or 1.50 because of this big differential. See, family, look, I got to pause here because this is very important. You got to look and see this now. These numbers right here are not reflective of this right here. Look, I'm feeling that a lot of you don't understand what I'm showing you and overstand. Do you get what I'm showing you? How can this not be down more than 0.50 if this is accurate? So as a result of us seeing this discrepancy here, we know, whoa. Thank God for our 10 o'clock time frame, and we need to wait. That's pushing 0.40. See where it went up here, went back down. Now this right here is retail, because institutional pushed it back up here. So right now, in this situation, we buy a ticket in a bag of popcorn, because this should be 1.45. Do we get this? On this XHP, it should be down demonstrably. Okay, it's trying to get to 0.50. See it moving back up slightly. Leave this alone right now. Like Queen Jillian said, be still and wait. Something not right with this at all. There's no way these numbers should be down, you know, marginally when we're looking at these numbers right here. And these are directly, they dichotomously opposed to the previous numbers on the housing related reports that were released here and here. So we buy taking a bag of popcorn, leave that alone. Once again, our drill down showing us, because we could have jumped out here and said, well, we made money here off of calls on on ITB. We made money here off of calls on ITB. So since we see this is going to be released today, let's go ahead and take a call option on it right here on ITB. And if that would have happened, we would have had a lunch eating one. That's why we don't take anything for granted. You drill down each and every day, okay? And then wait till your 10 o'clock time frame. Let the market settle, then govern yourself accordingly. We got this. See, fam, there's no way I could have presented this to you without you being here live. So you got to see this. And this is a prime example. We trust nobody when we trade and invest. I don't give a damn what the market did yesterday. You got to look at what it's doing today. Don't try to make money today off of what the market did yesterday, because that's not going to work. Because there's too many games and tricks and shenanigans that go on. So you got to play the market day by day based upon what you're looking and seeing. Okay? This is a wonderful teaching moment, because there's no way I could have staged this to show you this. You got to be able to see how the game goes on, okay, with these people every day. Now they're playing. We're at war. We're out here on the battlefield. But they're setting indexes and changing things real time. Yeah, this is wonderful. I'm glad you guys saw this. Because this right here is not justifiable from what we saw on the report being released here on Monday and here on Tuesday. Let me go a step further. I'm going to show you one other thing. Say you're a builder. You're a builder, okay? Well, now, are you going to build houses, right? You're going to have your starts, and they're up from the previous report, and mortgage applications down. Would you do that? You won't be in the home building business for long. So the mere fact that they're building more homes, the application process must have been up. There must have been more applicants. Y'all get that? So yeah, like King Mike Palmer just said, this doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, this is interesting indeed. But our drill down protects us from all this. We don't get caught up in the manipulation and the deceit and the deception that they have that they're putting forth. Because that drill down will tell us, whoa, stop. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to go over with you is, what did we talk about on Monday as being the two types of stocks and or sector of stocks we need to have in the foundation portion of our portfolio? The uber wealthy do all the time. What two? There you go. Dividend paying stocks. There you go. All right. Index off of 25 years. Sometimes we would accept 10 years of consistent payments, 5% minimum payout ratio annually on the dividend, and that dividend needs to be increasing every year, right? Okay. Then I indicated to you that if there's one sector that you want to have in your foundation, your portfolio, a particular sector, there you go, Zenobi, where there are companies that have never lost money in the history of their existence. Some of the companies have been in existence over 100 years. What sector was that? There you go, Mike. There you go, Maurice. There you go, Jacqueline. What sector was that? There you go, Anthony. There you go, Queen Zenobi. What sector was that, Queen Phyllis, Queen Carolyn, King Willie? What sector? You got to get this because this is important. What sector was that, Queen Linda, King Kermit, King Elder, Kevin Rice? What is the sector, King Hugh Rose? What is the sector that has never, ever lost money? Never. Has never shown, okay, a negative ER report. There's only one company in this sector that has ever shown a negative ER, and that's because they got sued because of the California fires. There you go, utilities. And then you remember Monday I said, whenever they want to go ahead and get an increase, do they ever notify you or ask your permission? They just go to the Public Utility Authority, and 99.9% of the time, that increase is granted. And your electric bill just goes up. Remember we talked. Okay, mic check one. Can you guys hear me? Some of you say you lost sound. Okay, you all right? Okay, my question is, does it say that they're asking for it, or does it say it's approved? 12 hours ago, this was released. We just talked about this Monday. Do you see why you need to have utility companies in your portfolio? Now, they didn't ask not one person in Georgia what they think about this rate increase and whether or not they want it or not. They didn't give a damn. They went straight to the regulators. The regulators said, okay, approve. $1.77 billion. That's going to be passed on to the users of the electricity. Okay? And they're not stringing it out over no 10, 20 years. Look, next 3 years. That's going to come out to over $200 a year more for Georgia residents that use Georgia Power. That's incredible. Now, like I said, if you don't pay your electric bill, they don't care. You're going to be reading the newspaper by candlelight. They cut it off. See, family, whether or not you like this or not, get paid from it. And this is just Georgia. Now, Georgia Power, they trade under this symbol. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Georgia Power trades under the symbol of the Southern Company. All right? So, this is how you monetize this and get paid from it. All right? When they issue their ER report, see, I love seeing it down right here because I got a large position in Georgia Power, which trades under some of the Southern Company. Let me prove it to you. All right? So I'm deep into them. See, here they are in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? This is all the things they're in: gas distribution, electrical services. What do they do? Sells electricity in the wholesale markets and distributes gas in Georgia, okay, Virginia, Tennessee, et cetera, et cetera. All right. This is, and they do business under the name Georgia Power. Do you see why it makes sense? Whoever is providing you with your electricity where you live, instead of paying them every month, get paid by them. Because anytime they want to increase your rate, they're going to do it and it's going to get approved. Somebody just sent across Con Ed is on the verge of a 3-year rate hike. Prices are expected to go up in January. I rest my case. So when we go in to build the perfect portfolio, for those of you that don't have one yet, going into 2020, start out with, like I've been telling you, your dividend paying positions. Now let's go over this again because this is important now. Very, very important. If you do this now, your 2020 will be even more prosperous. So you want to do what? Start out with looking at the dividend paying positions, okay, that have been paying a dividend for ideally 25 years or more. You could, if you like to have a lesser amount of years, don't go any less than 10 years. And that dividend payout is 5% or more per annum, annually, and it has been increasing for 10 years, if you're looking at one that's been paying 10 years, or 25 years. Okay? Now, when you take that position, based upon your budget, all right, you want to go ahead and buy at least a couple of shares so you can get the dividend. Now, I talked quite extensively yesterday during our Classroom Not Walls radio broadcast about being able to go ahead and use reinvestment of the dividend, okay, to get the advantage of compounding and time on your side. All right? So listen to this, and I'll walk you through how to do that. Now, once you find out that particular company that you're going to buy straight up, you're going to take a portion of your real estate, your investment portfolio budget, and buy the dividend, a couple of shares, or however many you feel comfortable with, to get the dividend. And then you want that dividend to be reinvested. Then you come back out and you implement our dividend option trifecta effect strategy on that same position. So you got a straight up stop buy for the dividend, but then you're doing options on it to monetize everybody else that is getting the stock for the dividend. All right? So you're going to do the shareholder record date run up, call option, dividend payout, put option, and then the associative ER date. And implement our as was to ER residual strategy. Don't go with the straight up strategy, go with the residual strategy. That way, you're sure of getting paid 3 times from your option activity on your dividend stock, and then the dividend stock is paying you a dividend that you're allowing to be reinvested as well. You can pay 9 ways, okay, to Monday on that. You get it? All right, now, hold on. Now, I want you to go to this website to help you as you choose the dividends. What does this say right here? Could I have planned this? This came out today. I'm just seeing this the first time you see it. What does it say? Utility company with 60 plus years of dividend payout history added to the best dividend stocks. Family, this is nothing but divine. Look at this now. We're talking about this and it come up. All praises be to the ancestors and the creator. You see this? So we're going to come here. It says our pick is the largest utility in the region, covering a rich and growing manufacturing environment. Okay? This is wonderful. So what you would do is you would come here and you would just look at the utility paying companies, and we just said foundation. This gives you both in one. You got a utility paying company, which we know don't lose money, that's paying a dividend for over what? 25 years. This is 60 years. All right. And then all you got to do is go through the dividend paying companies that are utility companies that have a dividend more than 5%. And bam. Then you come back and then you option out on that same position with a dividend option trifecta effect strategy. Bam. Game, set, match. You got the foundation of your portfolio locked and loaded. Then you could do all the other things that you see us do with all our other strategies, okay, and build on that foundation per having positions like this in the foundation. There's no way I could have planned. This just came up real time. That lets you know you on the right meridian, staying at the right chakra level, you tapped in. The universe just made this happen. Do we get this? Now, to get even more wicked, there you go, Mike. Because Mike says, because we form one mastermind. There you go. Now, to get even more wicked with this, you go back, you check your reference documents. I've given you multiple lists of dividend paying stocks that pay monthly. You go ahead and get you a couple of those and sprinkle them in your portfolio as well. And then you rat-a-tat-tat. You get paid ongoing listen now, monthly from your monthly dividend paying positions. You got dividend paying position, utility company, 5% or more, 25 years or more of paying a dividend up under the monthly paying dividend paying positions. Then you hitting with our ER strategies, residuals. You're hitting with our economic counter report every week, okay? And then you're doing all our other strategies, all right? From everything from our holding strategies to, facial strategies, 52-week high strategies. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And those are extra, that's gravy on top of the foundation. And on everything, you put a trailing stop or a stop loss up under it. So you never have your risk equal to your exposure. How can you not get paid? That makes $100, $200 in less than a month. It makes $1,000, $2,000 in less than 2-3 weeks. It makes $5,000, $10,000, okay, in 3 weeks. Family, this is how you make Wall Street pay you on Main Street. And does it have anything to do with His Royal Highness Donald Trump being impeached today? No. That ain't gonna affect nothing. Does that have anything to do with the market being up or down 100 or 200 points on any given day and everybody pay? No. And notice now, with utilizing this strategy, how many times have I said over my many years of being exposed to you that if you want to get paid some of the time, you invest in what society wants. If you want to get paid all of the time, you invest in what society needs. The society needs electricity. You see, all the things we train upon line up. It's undeniable how to get PAID trading and investing. The only way you don't get paid PAID trading and investing using our strategies is if you don't do what you're supposed to do. Because if you do what you're supposed to do, the market cannot defeat you. You don't trade and invest just to participate. You trade and invest to dominate. And so many people are trading and investing, and they just hope, listen to this, and this is crazy, that they don't lose any money. Let me tell you something. There is no gray area in trading and investing. Listen, you either making money or you losing money. There isn't, well, you know, I ain't made no money and I ain't lost no money, so I'm just holding it in the road. No, that can't be possible in trading and investing. Let me tell you why. Because anytime you place a trade, you got to pay a fee. That's your brokerage fees. So if you have $100 in the market in January, and in December, you got $100 still, you can't say, well, I didn't make any money, I didn't lose no money, so I still got my $100. No. Because two things. One, if you ever traded on that $100, you pay the fee. Check it now. If you made a trade with $100 and you lost $10, all right, so you're down to $90, right? So what ends up happening is, even if your brokerage company stop charging commissions like many of them have, okay, then you get into what is called present value of money versus future value of money. The time that you lost the money, that $10, you didn't have $100 working for you making money. So guess what? You lost money. Well, say you go ahead and then you make a trade and you make $120. So you say, well, I'm $10 to the good or $20 to the good. Are you? Because the idle time that money did not make money, okay, it costs you money. So when you trade and investing, either you making money or you losing money. That's why I am so adamant about your money working for you 24/7, 365. It has to generate more revenue and income for you. This is not a game. This is for real. It's war. And so it irks me when people tell me that. I said, well, what was your portfolio balance in January? And then I said, well, what's your portfolio balance now in December? And a lot of people are quick to say, well, you know, it's the same. I ain't lost no money, but I ain't making no money, so I'm cool. No. It doesn't work like that. If you're not making money or generate revenue and income, then you losing money. We're clear on this. This is very, very important now, because the unconventional mind will catch what I just said. The conventional mind will habituate and be like, well, as long as I ain't having the same amount of money as in my account this month that was in last month, I'm okay. Well, see, you know what? It's people like you that make people like me more wealthy, because we monetize people like you. Idle money costs you money. So now let's go. We've gone over a lot of salient points very, very quickly here, but they're powerful. And I want to make sure that all of you all get this, okay? All right. On the housing market, I want you, if you haven't already seen it, okay, you need to make sure that you look at the movie The Big Short, because the calm before the storm that you'll bear witness to in that movie, that gives relevance to the real estate bubble. You know, it was calm. Everybody was making money, hand over fist off of real estate before the bubble burst. It's the same thing going on now. But see, we know what is capable of happening because we remember 2007, 2008. So we're going to continue to monetize the real estate market as we have been doing, but we're going to do it cautiously, knowing that we can take the other side of the trade when the time is appropriate, okay? Oh, somebody says that it comes on Saturday, this movie. Okay, thank you, Queen Jacqueline. It comes on Saturday on Fusion at 5:30 p.m. Thank you, Queen Jacqueline. Okay, everybody got that? per Queen Jacqueline now. It comes on Saturday, this Saturday, which will be the 21st, on Fusion at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate, love you, Queen. Thank you. Okay. Everybody saying thank you so much, Queen. All right. And then somebody, Mike Palmer saying, if you have Netflix, you can watch it on demand. It's a very, very informative and entertaining movie because it tells you and shows you just how they think on Wall Street. And having worked on the Wall Street for so many years and being on Wall Street, I can tell you it's a very accurate depiction of it. Okay? Excellent, excellent. Now, coming out of the housing market, we go into looking at the utilities, okay, sector as a sector that can give us a double whammy with regards to the foundation of our portfolio. And that is utility companies that pay dividends. And the dividends meet the criteria that we have to have for dividends to be included in our portfolio. 25 years or more, continual payout, and the payout being 5%. And we look at buying some of those positions on a straight up buy to be in the foundation of our portfolio. Then we come back and we get nasty by putting in some monthly dividend paying positions, okay, to pay us every month. And we can either take that money out or continue to reinvest that so we can use compounding and time to increase our money. And then we hit both of those and any other dividends, even dividends we don't even have in our portfolio, we hit those dividend paying positions with our dividend option trifecta effect strategy and get PAID. Now, let me ask you a question. What would have to happen for us to sell our dividend paying position? As it relates to a dividend paying position that we have in our portfolio, what would the dividend paying company have to do? Okay, let's go to as far. There you go, Mike. There you go, Anthony. King Anthony was right on it. What would the stock price have to do for us just to say, wait a minute, we out of here. We're going to sell. There you go. Okay. Many of you are saying, okay, there you go, J. Ron. Many of you are saying, well, if the stock price falls, okay, how far? If the stock price, there you go, Maurice, boom. If the stock price falls X amount, then we will sell the dividend paying stock. What is that amount? There you go, Anthony. The amount of the dividend. See, you got to get this now. There you go, King Charles. If you have a position in your portfolio that's paying you 5%, it's a dividend paying position. Well, if the stock price falls more than 5%, that nullifies the dividend payout. So then guess what? You sell it. Let me give you a numerical example. All right? There you go. Like King Anthony said, the party's over. You get out. Remember the chicken wings, okay, and the liquor and all that's over with. Well, then you out of here. You're going to find another party. Okay? Now, let me give you a numerical example. If you have a company, I'm going to use very, very small numbers to drive home my point because it'll be easier for you to digest. If you have a company that's paying you, the stock is trading at $10 a share, and the stock is paying you a 10% dividend per year, right? Okay, so if the stock price falls, okay, so let me back up. So the 10% dividend on a $10 stock is how much per year? There you go, Mike. $1. Everybody got that? All right. Now check this now. Now, if the stock falls to $9 in price, all right, then guess what? The stock can no longer pay you the $1 a year dividend, right? Because if it's only paying a 10% dividend, guess what? The dividend now has fallen from $1 to what? 90 cents. There you go, King Anthony. So now, why would you stay in that position? When you were getting paid $1, now they cutting it to 90 cents. I get the hell on. So anytime the stock price falls to below the dividend payout, you get out. You clear on that? Because under this scenario, if you bought the stock at $10 and it started out paying you a 10% dividend, which was $1, then the stock falls to 90 cents. Listen now. And now the stock is still paying you a 10% dividend. If the stock falls to $9 and the stock is still paying you 10% dividend, all right, now you're getting paid 90 cents. Why would you keep that position and you just lost 10 cents? It's costing you 10 cents to hold the position. You don't get that? See, you got to think that when you trade and investing, positions have to pay you as opposed to you paying the position. If you lose money on the position, you just paid the position. But when you are making money and generating revenue and income from the position is paying you. We want the position to pay us. Do we understand and understand that? So it's very, very clear. When you're looking at a position, all right, when you take that position and put it in your portfolio, and it's a dividend paying position, then at that point on, you're monitoring this is very important. I'm about to ask a question, just came to me. If I buy a position, a dividend paying position, put it in my portfolio, all right? Now at that point on, am I monitoring the dividend payout only, or am I monitoring the stock price relative to the dividend payout? There you go, Mike. Listen now. If you buy a dividend paying position, once you do that, do you monitor the dividend only and make sure it's getting paid to you? Or do you monitor the stock price relative to the dividend? There you go, Zenobi. There you go, Mike. You monitor the stock price relative to the dividend, because if the stock price falls more than the dividend payout, that's the indicator, sell the stock. Now, let's pause here now, because I need to feel comfortable. I need to know that my family members understand and understand what I just went over. Does anybody need me to give them another example of this now? Because I am telling you, I know of no wealthy person that doesn't have dividend paying positions in the foundation of their portfolio. You're welcome, King Mike. It's an honor to serve you. See, so many people run out. Just yesterday, I'm at Whole Foods. Lady recognizes me over in the fruit section. She runs up, Dr. E, I work for FedEx. And, you know, we're moving a lot of packages. Should I go ahead and increase my position in FedEx? I said, well, first of all, are you in the pension plan? Yeah, I'm in the pension plan. Okay, then. So why would you just want to go ahead and double up with more positions in FedEx? She says, well, you know, it's Christmas time, and every time around Christmas, you know, we go up. I said, okay, then that's fine. Well, if you're going up and you already got this in your pension, you got some positions in your pension, and that's fine. What I would recommend is that you diversify and get you some dividend positions, because guess what? It ain't going to be Christmas season, okay, after 14 or 15 more days. So those positions that you got just for the seasonality, they're going to go down. So what you need to do is get you some dividend paying positions that will get you paid irrespective of the season. We're talking about 365 days a year. Not just doing Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever. So then she asked me, well then, what dividend paying stocks should I get? And I just told her, investigate, Queen, utilities. Because when you invest in what society needs, you get paid all the time. You invest in what society wants, you get paid some of the time. Case in point is what we're talking about right now. We get this. Somebody just sent across, thank you, Dr. Reeves. I recently sold 3 of my monthly dividend stocks based on, I can't read the last part. Based on this principle. Yeah. Okay, based on this principle. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. Let me see who sent that over. Let's see who sent this. King Kevin Rice. Okay, Elder Kevin Rice. Well, that sounds like you up in Ohio. All right, exactly. So there are multiple ways to generate continual revenue and income streams, family. And you can do it with a minimal amount of money. You know, you don't have to jump out here with $1,000 and say, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and trade them. No, you can start out with $50, flip that, utilizing our strategies in a week, 10 days, make it 100. Then take the 100 and with compound and make it 200. Now you into the second or third week of the month where you started out with $50 at the beginning of the month, but now you got $200. And every time, and this is just me, you may not want to push yourself like me, but I seek to double my money. So now watch this. Well, we could take $50, okay, meaning you saying you all do the same thing, utilizing our strategy. Watch this now. If you got a calculator, pull it out. I'm going to show you how simple this is. All right? Come along with me now. Boy, you guys are popping today. I love coming in here privately with you all. Okay? Now, let's say, for instance, you got $50 on week 1. Okay? Now, when you decide that you're going to invest that $50 on that Monday, your goal should be, listen now, to make that 50 100 by Friday. Utilizing our strategies and techniques, very simple to do. You can just go our residual strategies and turn $50 into $100 in a week. Simple. Now, during that time frame, you should never have more. If you're starting out and you conservative, you should never have more than $5 at risk. That's 10%. All right, there you go. King Mike, 10% trail and stop or loss put up under it. Now, once you turn the 50 into 100 on Friday, when Monday rolls around, week 2, you seek to make that 100 200. With me? And if you're a super conservative with a 10% trailing stop, you only have $10 at risk this time. knowing that you'll always have $90. Even if you miss for the whole week, you still will have $90. You with me? Now, let's say you're successful, making 100, 200 by Friday of the second week. Come the third week, you got 200. You do the same thing, running a 10% trailing stop. If you so desire, you can widen it if you want. It's up to you. But say you run 10% trailing stop on, okay, going into the third week on Monday with $200. You know, then by Friday, if you miss on all the positions, you're still going to have $180 because you only have 20%. You only have $20, which is 10% of the $200 at risk during that week. The $200, utilizing our strategies and techniques and making sure you have trailing stops and your stop loss up under you. Now, going into the fourth week, that 200 has been turned into what? $400. Y'all with me so far? Beginning of the fourth week, you take that $400. You have the same criteria set forth that you had during the previous 3 weeks. The $400 on the Friday of the fourth week is now $800. You took $50 from week 1 of the month and made it $800 by the end of the month. And never ever did you have your risk equal to your exposure. Now that's just, you haven't done anything with the economic calendar reports. You ain't done nothing with the holding strategies. You haven't done anything else with regard to 52-week high strategies. You know, guess what happens if you got a beta day thrown in there somewhere during that month time frame? None of those things have been taken into account. That's just extra money. Now, while many of you are probably saying, wow, he just talked us through how to take $50 and make it $800 in a month. Yes. But the thing that you should be more impressed with is that during all of that time, we never had our risk equal to our exposure. And we never, ever put ourselves in a position where we would end up losing that money or giving it back. Because we had our trailing stops and our stop losses up under us at all times. Do we get this? You see, always making the market pay you. That's the key. And through this all, you're welcome, Queen Zenobi. Honor to serve you. Through it all, notice, am I defensive in my positions, or in this example, or am I offense and counter offense? There you go. I'm offense and counter offense. See, that's the key. You constantly have your money aligned and locked and loaded to do what you want it to do. But see, so many people think of trading and investing as the following. They think, okay, I'm going to put this money in a position, and then listen, and hope that the company does something or continue to do things that's favorable in the market's eyes and the stock price rise. And hopefully I get paid enough money to make a reasonable profit. That's ass backwards. And over 80% of all traders and investors think like that. You can't think like that because you're cutting yourself off, okay, at the knees from the point in time, the millisecond you take the position. Listen to me, I'm about to tell you, okay, how you get around that and you don't ever fall for that thought process. When I look to take a position, okay, let's say, for instance, I'm just saying hypothetically, let's say I was looking to take a FedEx, I'm not taking FedEx under the auspices. Well, I'm only going to take a call position. If I see this damn thing down more than 0.50, I don't care nothing about FedEx. I'm taking a put. Knowing, there you go, Mike, no emotion. So now I increase the probability of me getting PAID only reduced by my trailing stop. So if I'm looking at this position and I want to go ahead and monetize it, just for example, that's more than 0.50. If I come in here with a put and I put a 10% or 20%, say I put a 20% trailing stop on it, then I got an 80% chance of getting paid, right? Because I only run a 20% risk. Get this, family. This is not difficult. Why would I go into a position and I got a 50-50 chance of getting paid? That's stupid as hell. If the odds are not in my favor, and I mean demonstrably, I'm not dealing with it. Yeah, somebody just said that's gambling. That's right. I don't gamble. We're not out here gambling. So when I look at a position, when it meets my criteria, 0.50, okay? Front side, back side of the water table, call or put, trailing stop up under. My trailing stop is going to be reflective of the percentage that I'm willing to go ahead and put at risk. The market doesn't dictate what I put my trailing stop at. I dictate that. So if I'm saying, oh, you know what, FedEx, I'll go ahead and go 20%. Then that's a 20% trailing stop, which means I got an 80% chance of keeping my damn money and making money. But if I go in here without a trailing stop on it, okay, as old country folks say, bucket ass naked on the position, get it, bucket ass naked on the position, then guess what? Now I'm at best running 50-50 chance. What? That's crazy. Well, no, I'm not doing that. And I told you from day one, I'm a punk, straight up punk when it comes to trading and investing. If it looked like it's about to go wrong, I get out. And I live to trade another day. Don't try to be no hero when you trade and investing. The world of trading and investing doesn't need any heroes or sheroes. Okay? Those are the ones that get got. All right? Those are the ones that I'm going to hold a position. The position going to turn around. I talked about this in right here yesterday. Listen to the radio broadcast. Those of you who didn't listen to it live. I talked about that where people get into the point where if they lost money, now they say, well, you know what? At least I got to hold it till I break even. Oh, boy, you about to get played with now. Because now you're dealing with hope. You hoping that thing rebound. Hope is not a strategy. Okay? That's crazy. When I put a trailing stop up under something, then I know, okay, I don't care. If that position falls to this point, get me out. I don't want no pie in the sky, none of that. I'm out of here. We clear on this? And so I hope you also understand and understand, do not come into trading and investing thinking that you got to have a truckload of money, okay? Because let me tell you something. If you come in with a truckload of money, then your emotions are going to govern your behaviors. I don't care what nobody says. If you got $1 million on the line for something, you're going to look at it differently than if you got $10 on the line for something. And if something goes wrong, which Lady Destiny tends to make things go wrong from time to time, now you're going to have a connection and blame everybody for the things that you did or did not do. Versus if you come in there with $10, looking at it like and trading on it like you have got $1 million, then you're going to drill down and you're going to discipline yourself that no matter what the amount of money it is, okay, you need to focus on your strategy to monetize that situation. That was cruel, King Anthony. King Anthony said, just blame it on Dr. Reeves. Yeah, I guess any excuse would do. All right. But my point is, family, is that know what you're doing before you do it. Know your end game before you get in the game, and then set a return, a profit that you want to make. With me, like I said, I push myself, but if I put out $1, I got to have 2. 20 cents, I ain't going to get it. All right. And if I put out $1 and say I only make 80 cents, then guess what? That 80 cents, it got to make 360. It got to make 360. All right. When I go back out there in the market. Because if I put out that $1 and I run a 20% trailing stop on that thing, okay, if it goes up, check it now. If it goes up to $2, my trailing stop then is still indexed to 20 cents, 20%, which means then if it falls to 180, I'm dealing with the 180 that I'm going to turn over to make it 360. Y'all get it? And let me ask you this. Now, just contemplate what I'm saying before you answer. Where else do you know? And trading and investing got a lot of demons, okay? Got a lot of bad things about it. But like I've told you oftentimes, Satan can't deceive you unless you believe he's the Messiah. As long as you know that you're dealing with Satan, then you use Satan like Satan trying to use you. If you decide you want to be exposed to Satan. All right? No, I'd rather not be exposed to Satan, period. But I'm just saying, if Satan show up and you ain't got nowhere to go, then don't you believe that Satan's the Messiah because he show up looking like the Messiah. All right? No, this is Satan in disguise. Mm-hmm. And you'll be all right. Same thing with trading and investing. But let me ask you this question. Where else do you know where you can take your money, invest it wisely, intelligently, after you do your drill down and everything? Listen to me now. After you do your drill down and everything, and put your money into the investment and say how much you want to have at risk. Where else do you know at the onset you can say, look, I'm going to go ahead and put in $10. But if the $10 fall to 90 cents now, I want my 90 cents back. But I'm controlling, excuse me, if I put in one, I'm going to put in $1. But if the $1 fall to 90 cents now, I want y'all to give me my 90 cents back. But I'm controlling $1 worth of the position. But I only got 10 cents worth of risk. Where else can you do that? I don't know no place either. When you go out there and buy a lottery ticket, do they give you a refund if your number don't hit? You out that $1 or $5 or whatever you spent, right? Well, see, those of us that know how to trade and invest, I'm controlling my risk. I'm saying, FedEx, I'm going to go ahead and invest $10 in you with a 10% trailing stop. Just hypothetical. Or if I bought this one stock straight up and it's at 147 and I run a 10% trailing stop, Now I'm controlling one share at $147, but when that damn thing fall $14.71, I'm selling. Now if it go up to $1.57 or $157, oh, that's my profit. But if it fall $14.71, I'm out. I'll do that all day, every day. And I can do it while I'm driving in my car. I can do it while I'm out with my grandbaby. I'm in control at all times of my position. Now, the other thing is this. I'm not riding around in no big-ass ugly truck delivering packages and all that kind of stuff in the rain, sleet, snow, and all that kind of stuff. Lugging packages around, but I'm getting paid from every employee and every truck that's out there doing that. All 309 employees, y'all get your behinds out there and go work for me. I want 309 of y'all out there, okay? And I want y'all to be flying airplanes, moving trucks, all that kind of stuff worldwide. And I only got $14.71 exposure and risk. Y'all get it? Notice how I'm thinking now. Okay? See, it's the way I think that allows me to do this. Now, I'm not sitting here thinking, you know what? I want to open up me a package delivery business. So I got to go to master at the bank, ask for a loan to get some trucks. Then I got to hire some drivers. Then I got to get some insurance. Then and I got to make payroll, and I got to go lease a building to have my business. I'm not doing all that, man. I'm taking $147.12, 14 cents, 15 cents. With $14.15 worth of exposure. And I got 300 plus employees working for me. Does anybody not understand that? Y'all get this? This is what the uber wealthy do. This is how they obtain and maintain their wealth. There was an interview that I saw about a month ago. I was very impressed with this young man, Kobe Bryant. A lot of people don't like his attitude and his disposition, and he is heralded for his basketball skills. But that brother he wicked with that investing. He is ruthless with that thing. And now he's making, just like Michael Jordan, just like Shaq, they're making more money off the court than they ever made running up and down the court because they figured it out. I don't work for my money. I make my money work for me. And when they figure that out, now they in the blockchain investments. Hell, Shaq, he endorsed everything from tier 2 level car insurance, general car insurance, to Carnival Cruise Lines, to Icy Hot. There you go. Okay, he got chicken places he's opened up. What is that? Five Guys, hamburgers or whatever. He owns 130 of those. Just going on, money, making money off of money. Now, what's the difference in them and you? See, it's the way they think. Because they look and see. That's the bottom line. And there you go, Anthony. And they monetize what they know. Thank you, King Anthony. What they know. So at the end of the day, what are we going over today in this virtual trader room? All of which will get you paid. Number one, invest in what society needs and get paid all of the time. Utility companies. You don't have to climb one damn pole and fix one wire, but you get paid from everybody that's receiving electricity or utilities in your area from that utility company. You should love that. And you know that they do not, okay, lose money. And when they ask for money, the increase, they get it. So how could you not say, you know what? I'm gonna go, I'm gonna pay, yeah, I'm gonna get paid from them. Every one of you in this virtual trading room right now, you are here because you got electricity running to your computer or your internet-enabled device. Some of you are on your cell phones, but I'm just saying, trying to make a point. So when you want to get paid from the company that's providing not only you electricity, but the millions of other people that are using electricity right now. See, that's incredible. Ted Turner. Ted Turner, y'all know who that is, right? The billionaire that spends time living here in Atlanta and in Montana. All right? Turner figured out a long time ago. Yeah, I made money off of advertisement. Do you all know the Turner story? It's a wonderful story. I had the pleasure of working for him for a brief period of time as a financial engineer. Okay, many of you say, some say yes, but many of you saying no. Listen to this now, because you can learn from this now. Ted Turner was at Georgia Tech, and he was a party boy. All right, he didn't care nothing about going to school. Never did finish tech. All right. And while he was at Georgia Tech, about to flunk out, not because he's not smart, but just because he partied and everything else, his daddy died. Now, Ted Turner's family money, his father was new money, and he made his money from billboards. It was called Turner Advertising. They had a blue and white logo. Okay, blue with Turner written in it in white. And all over Atlanta, up I-75, 85, 20, you see Turner billboards. They're all throughout the Southeast. Well, his dad died. So Ted dropped out of Georgia Tech and took over Turner Advertising. Listen now. Listen. Now, at the time, you could buy what they call sub-wattage radio stations and television stations. All right? And so there was a small sub-watt television station that only broadcast through the air. Listen now, because all of this can help you. So Mr. Turner, with his daddy's money, okay, went ahead and bought up a small television station. All right? The television station could only broadcast via the air. And it was called, it had a numerical number of 17. And it was channel 17. Okay? Now this man right here is brilliant. Now during this time, he was battling alcoholism. He was a drinking and smoking somebody. But he was a functional alcoholic. All right? Now about this time now, there was a problem going on between the United States, all right, and Iraq. So at this time, the only way you could get news updates, all right, was buying through your local news or the big boys, NBC, ABC, and CBS. And the news came on at 6 and 11, depending upon where you lived at. Okay? Now, he's still running his daddy's billboard company. All right? That he inherited, all right? Now, during this time frame, he decided to tighten himself up and re-enroll in college. But this time he didn't go back to Georgia Tech. He went to Brown University. All while he was still running the business here. Now, what ended up happening was Atlanta is a portal. If you go off of a place here called Monroe Drive, okay, there's a series of satellites that sit down in the ground at Monroe Drive. Well, they sit above the ground, but it's right there, all right? These huge satellites. Now, there's something called the SAT, S-A-T-VAT, V-A-T system, the SAT-VAT system. And based upon your geographical location on the planet Earth, these huge satellites that sit on the ground beam up to satellites that are in space. And then the signal is sent back down across the globe. Monday Night Football, okay, at that time, and even to this day, believe it or not, the signal comes into Atlanta, no matter where the game is being played at. Then it goes up through the SAT-VAT system off of Monroe Drive. It goes up, and then it's redistributed across the planet. This man realized in his backyard here in Atlanta, where he bought this low voltage channel 17 station, that if he cut a deal with the SAT-VAT service here in Atlanta, which was right down the street from him, okay, he could be able to broadcast his network across the country. Because if you want global access, you got to pay more. So he started out, he tested it across the country. And you know what he did first? To see if it would work, he broadcasted 24 hours a day starting out with music videos. People think MTV started that. No, they didn't. Do your research. He started that. Why? Because it was cheap. All they had to do was load back then the VHS machines with the videos. The music labels would give him the music videos free because they wanted exposure for their artists. Listen how he thinks now, connecting the dots. So he said, I'm going to come up with a 24-hour music video station. That's what Channel 17 was when it started out. All they did was show cheap-ass videos. It didn't cost him nothing. His content cost him nothing, but he tested the market. And people then, believe it or not, would tune in to watch the music videos. Then the war broke out with Iraq. And he said, if I sent news reporters there, and because we're already in a SAT-VAT location in Atlanta, if we could get the signal from our reporters being back to Atlanta, then I could send it up again, all under the brand of Channel 17. We would be the first station to broadcast war activity live. That launched CNN. People used to mock this man. They started out calling CNN Chicken Noodle Network. I remember, I was here. They used to call CNN the Chicken Noodle Network. Who got the last laugh? They told him nobody likes to watch the news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He made news a commodity, just like Apple made the iPhone a must-have. When you want to know something about news and get it authenticated, what channel do you click on? CNN or headline news. Now, in the meantime, in between time, he making money hand over fist. He buys Atlanta Braves. He buys Atlanta Hawks. He builds and buys the Omni. And he never looks back. He saw then what others saw eventually. But it's the way he thought that made everything possible. See, it's the way you think. See, he looked and saw. That's huge. Because whether or not you know it, people think they need, okay, television and radio. You could do without it, but it makes life more comfortable. So he took what people want and then presented it as a need. And therefore you have CNN, the first cable news channel. It was called Chicken Noodle Network. People used to make fun of him. Same thing with the cell phone, AKA smartphone. Not some of us, all of us can do without it. You don't have to have one, but let you lose your phone or be without it. You will have a connection. Some of you would not even know the phone number of your children or your loved ones because you haven't written it down somewhere. It's all in that phone. And that's a whole nother discussion about how your cybersecurity position, you better get some of them. Because if anything ever happens to the Internet of Things or AI, artificial intelligence, guess what? Whole cities, the world's going to shut down. Check this out to drive home my point. Okay? Check this out. None of the major news, there you go, Zenobi, I'm about to go there. None of the major networks jumped up and down on this. But I was wondering to see how many of y'all were going to send me a notice about this because we already know how to get paid for this. Queen Zenobi, old eagle eye. I appreciate love you so much, Queen. You don't miss nothing. Check out this. What happened just a couple of days ago? Look what happened now. Look what happened now. Shut the whole damn city down. Haven't we talked about this? And then, like you said, Mike, they kept it real low key. Why? Can you imagine the mass hysteria that would have popped off? This is real. This is real. Family members. Yeah, it's real. And that's why we know how to come over here and do this right here. Because I told you, this is going to happen for the rest of our lives. The hacking. You come right here, bam, that's our macro position. You kick right down here, bam, you're going to see a list of our micro position. Okay, here we go. And go to work and get paid. Y'all get this. This right here, okay, will get you paid from stuff like this. Because you're not going to stop this. You're not going to, and these are just, look, you best believe the only reason New Orleans said something about this hack was because they were afraid that it was going to get leaked anyway. Can you imagine how many hacks occur in the government and everywhere else, and they don't say nothing about it? Think about it now. How many of y'all remember, because I've told you this many times, the day that 9/11 hit, I had a wire transfer that was supposed to come to me. They could not get the wire out because the computer systems went down. Everything is tied to the grid. Now you think about what I just said. If I took your cell phone from you and I asked you 10 people's phone numbers in your contacts, how many of those phone numbers could you give me? Now you take that small example and multiply it times a government or a bank with people coming in and trying to access their accounts. Let me ask you a question. Those of you out there in California. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to show you how you can monetize all of this. All right? In California, where you known to have electrical outages and all this and that, especially during the winter months. Okay? Let me ask you this. How many of you all, okay, have ATMs that don't run off electricity? Think about it now. So if I want to cause a major problem in a whole region, not just a city, a whole region, right? I hit the electrical grid. Because the quickest way to get your damn attention is to cut off your access to your money. Because when I cut off your access to your money, guess what? That means your credit cards and your debit cards too. That means the economy as a whole shuts down because nobody can exchange, okay, a currency for goods, products, or services. You go into Walmart and try to get something and don't have some type of medium of exchange to pay for it. Do they give it to you? So imagine in your mind the millions, the hundreds of millions of people around the United States. Let's not even talk about the world. All right, just the United States. And all of a sudden, there's no access to electricity that runs the computers, because the backup generator is only going to last for a while, okay? That runs the computers. Now, if you don't have no Internet of Things, the computers can't access individual people's accounts. Therefore, individual people can't get money out of their individual accounts. It will be, as Mike Palmer just sent across, mass chaos. That's why not some, all of the uber wealthy have cash stashed somewhere. All of the uber wealthy have cash stashed somewhere. How many times have I told you, don't put all your money in a damn bank or have it sitting in your credit union? Because I lived through it. When 9/11 hit, okay, there was no ATM access on the Eastern Seaboard. The banks shut down. The stock market's closed. Wire transfer, even though we had a confirmation number. I had a multi-million-dollar wire transfer coming out of New York. It was in the great abyss. Okay? Every drug dealer, he knows the propensity for him getting locked up is always right around the corner. So every drug dealer always got a cash stash somewhere. On purpose. I ain't trying to say you need to be a drug dealer, okay, but I'm not saying, but I'm also not saying that thinking from a protective standpoint like one is a bad thing. I'm telling you now. And when you go back Give me another example. Joe Kennedy. Yeah, D. Joe Kennedy. The father, okay, of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. All right? This man right here, how did he make his money? Okay. Old man Kennedy made his money. Here we go. Hold 1 second. I want old man Kennedy. Okay. He made his money buying through bootleg. All right. This is him. Now, if you check his background, and I'm about to tell you something now, I'm going to tie into getting paid, trading and investing. He was one of the staunchest advocates, okay, believe it or not, initially, of Adolf Hitler. Check it. See, people don't know this. Hold on. He brought the Nazi Party to Madison Square Garden. They sold out 2 nights. I'm going somewhere with this. Okay? Look. Look at what I'm telling you now. In 1939, look at what I'm telling you. Listen now. This capitalism thing ain't no joke. Look who they got in the back here. What is this? Pro-Hitler rally. Now look at his, look. Look when he was born now. So that was right when he was in the height of his age to start making his moves. Now he always said one of his sons are going to be the president of the United States. Why don't you read about this in the history books that this is the damn man that financed this? All you hear about is JFK, his son, and Kamala, right? Now I'm going to get deep with something for a second, and you all got to be on the appropriate chakra level to catch what I'm about to say. And now I don't mean anything from a standpoint of being racist or anything like this, all right? And I'm not talking in a negative manner about any class of people. But check this. Look what type of person he is. He is what? He is an Irish American. See right there, Irish Catholic. Now, Irish people come from Ireland quite naturally. Ireland is and was a holding of the United Kingdom. Great Britain. Irish are thought of as British niggers. Listen to me. That's why you had the IRA. Okay? They were the Black Panthers of Ireland. And they were going after their own freedom and independence from Great Britain and the British Crown. Now you got to ask yourself, how in the hell a British nigger end up becoming an ambassador, okay, and his son becoming the president of the United States? See, that's where the trading and investing thing came in. He was alive during the great stock market crash. And you know how I said drug dealers always have a cash stash, and how you need to have a cash stash if the economy tanks or something happens? Now, with the electrical grid and blockchain and the Internet of Things, just coincidentally, this liquor running, gentleman during the age of prohibition, this British nigger, he got the inside tip that the market was going to crash. So he turns around and takes all of his ill-gotten gain money from the liquor running that he had invested in the stock market and pulled it out 24 hours before the stock market crashed. Just coincidentally. Now check this out. So when the market goes down, he cash rich. One of the few people jumping out the damn windows and shit. He got money. Who was the president during the Great Depression? Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR. Guess what he do? He happened to become what? Acquainted with FDR. See how they work. So the Irish nigger, he ain't just an Irish nigger no more. He an Irish nigger with money during the Great Depression. Look at him, man. We need to sit down and talk to you because you got cash. We don't care where you got the cash from. Okay, we don't want to talk about the prohibition and what you did. Okay, you got cash. We in a depression. Now, while he doing this, cutting deals with FDR, he doing this. Look, check it. When was the stock market? When did we have our Great Depression? 1929 and 1933. When the hell did this happen? Afterwards. He bringing Hitler to and his Nazi to the United States, and not just anywhere, where at Madison Square Garden. You don't hear about none of this in mainstream media. But see, family, when you understand and understand how they work, you can monetize their asses. You so worried about being caught up in the illusion of inclusion. You want to be like them. Hell, no, you don't. You want to get paid from them. See, a lot of you sitting there saying this is amazing. Why is it amazing? It's because you don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to look and see. This can't be JFK's daddy. This can't be Madison Square Garden with the Nazis here in Madison Square Garden with the founding father right there behind them. How the hell did that happen? And they sold out 2 nights. See, family, when you don't ever get bamboozled into thinking that Satan is the Messiah, you can look and see this and monetize this. And then we're not even going to get into the Rothschilds. Rothschilds are Jews, but they financed Hitler. You said, what the hell? Do your research. Because when it comes to this money thing, there is no loyalty. How the hell do you think the Nazis pulled back out of Russia when they got caught just like Napoleon did during the Russian winter? They got sucked deep into Russia. That winter hit their asses and they had to get back. Hitler couldn't get supplies to his front lines. How the hell did he pull that off? How did he get his people back out of Russia? He called the Jews. He called the Rothschilds. In the midst of Auschwitz, Dachau, and the like, the Rothschilds funded the extraction of the Nazi military out of Russia. You're like, what? Do your research, because see, if I say it, you don't believe it. But see, if you see it, You Google it, then it becomes valid. So go on Google it. But see, when you know these things, you know what you're dealing with. When I come out here on this trading and investing floor, man, I'm not playing. I know they're going to do this right here. So I know I need to give me some Southern Company or some Con Ed or whatever the case may be. When you look at a situation with the pharmaceutical companies, how in the hell can you not get paid from a pharmaceutical company when all you got to do is find out when their next clinical trial is coming before the FDA? You know the stock going to rise if the drug clears the FDA during that clinical trial. You know it's going to fall if it doesn't. Simple. There you go, King Anthony. King Anthony said, just pull the FDA calendar. Do our strategy, do our drill down, you pay. But see, so many of y'all want to believe that this is a kumbaya world. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. You all continue to get those of us that know different. You allow us to get wealthy off of your ignorance. Because trust me, anything that you're ignorant about, somebody else is monetizing it. Now, I said something there. Anything that you are ignorant about, somebody is monetizing. Let me give you an example. You get sick. You're ignorant about curing yourself. Guess what? You go to the doctor. The doctor monetizes your ignorance about you not being able to cure yourself, so therefore you pay him. Get it? So there you go, J-Ron. J-Ron said about your car. If you don't know anything about auto mechanics, your car break down, you're behind walking until you go and find somebody who will monetize your ignorance about fixing your car, aka a mechanic. You pay him, he fix your car, you riding once again, and guess what? But you never think in your mind that I just got monetized. They monetized my ignorance. Yep. Like King Elder Gary Smith said, this is an unfair world. Yeah, so what you gonna do about it? I say monetize. There you go, King Mike said get PAID. Do you see how all of this ties in together? But it starts with your thought process. You got to look and see. Some of y'all still can't get over this. Yep, that's the Madison Square Garden and them Nazis. But see, you can't tell everybody this, okay? Because they're going to do one or two things. They're going to overload mentally and burn out, or they're going to engage in complete, okay, denial. Oh, no. This is a photocrop picture. Okay, no, that can't be. That ain't Madison Square. All right, whatever, man. When you go back and look at how Saddam Hussein got in office, came in power, and then he was took out. You go back and look at how Muammar Gaddafi became in power. Go back and look at Fidel Castro. All these so-called enemies of the United States. Check and see how they got in power. It's just after they got in power, when they decided to buck against the entity that got them in power, the United States, that's when the drama started. But you got to go, how did they get in power, first of all? You see, that's the key. Go back and look at Idi Amin. That's an interesting story. He went all the way to the left after he got in power. He told every person that didn't look like him, whose skin wasn't his color, y'all got to get out. Leave. There you go, Shinobi. Leave the country. Nobody had ever done that. Leave the country. Then he staged an event. Listen to me. Where he was brought into a speech that he had to make, being carried on the shoulders of white folks. Google it. At that point, They said, no, he got to go. It's over with. Whatever you got to do, he got to go. So they came after him. Now, yes, he did a lot of atrocious things, but see, he was clever. Now, just because you clever don't mean necessarily you righteous. All right? Most criminals got to be clever. So what he did was he turned around and said, tell you what I'm going to do. All right? You see the natural resources we got here in Uganda? Fool with me if you want to. All right? Because just like y'all, your colonizers won't buy them, guess who will buy them? Chinese and the Russians will buy them. So he flew in a Russian contingency. They tried 4 attempts on his life to kill him. The British did. He flew into Russian contingencies and showed photographs of him negotiating the natural resources of Uganda with Russia and China. Then about the same time, okay, there was a situation where the Israeli Olympic team, go back and Google this, was kidnapped. And while the kidnappers hijacked the jet, he allowed them, the kidnappers, okay, to land at the airport in Entebbe. So if y'all want to research this, it all ties into you getting paid. Because I'm showing you how the global economic system works now. They landed in Entebbe. The hijacked jet with the Israeli Olympic team on it and some Israeli nationalists on it. But see, Idi Amin underestimated Israel. You don't fool with them Jews. Israel is the only country that has a license to kill on any soil. When they send their tactical team, their division, which is they have a division called the Mossad, they are licensed to kill anywhere on the planet. And nobody, they don't come before the Hague with crimes against humanity and none of that. There's a movie called The Raid on Entebbe. Write that down. Raid on Entebbe. Look at that movie. That's why you don't see nobody fool with Israel. Because Israel say, if you do anything to any of our citizens, we are going to come to get you. You can forget that. We don't care where you are. That's how they hunted down all of the Nazi hierarchy, all the generals, and all the people who ran the concentration camps. They will not stop. So when they landed in Entebbe, while Idi Amin went out there with film crews and everything, and he was supposedly trying to broker a deal for their release, guess what Israel did? They said, while y'all talking, guess what we about to do? So they sent in a hit squad from Mossad. They took the damn plane on Ugandan soil. Idi Amin was awake at 3 o'clock in the morning his time, that they had taken the damn plane and gotten all the hostages back. So now Idi Amin was taken off center stage. And by the time he got to the airport, the Israelis had their people on another jet and flying out of Uganda airspace. That's how thorough they were. So now, Idi Amin now, because he bucked the system, and he's the bad boy of the world at this particular time, he has to pivot, because now what the rest of the world has said is, Russia, China, you fool with him, we're going to cut you off with economic sanctions. So to make a long story short, he ultimately cut a deal. Now, let me ask you this. They brought up, and he was tried, okay, in absentia before the Hague criminal trial. Okay, he was brought up on for crimes against humanity. Right? How did Idi Amin die? Okay, watch this now. Was he hung? Was he shot? Was he beheaded? This damn man just died in 2003. And look where he died. In Saudi Arabia. He died of a medical complication. This man took all of the money out of Uganda when he left, cut a deal, and ended up living a life of luxury in Saudi Arabia. See, he beat them at their own game. He wasn't gonna be done like no Muammar Gaddafi or no Saddam Hussein, where they come in there and shoot him up and all. No. Old boy beat them at the game. Okay? So he monetized the colonizer. This is where he died. A kidney failure in 2003. Family, my point I'm trying to make to you is right, wrong, and different, and he was indeed, okay, a horrific man. He never got caught up in the illusion of inclusion. He knew he was dealing with Satan, and he governed himself accordingly. See, when you get caught up in the illusion of inclusion, you get Saddam Hussein. When you get caught up in the illusion of inclusion, you get, okay, Muammar Gaddafi. When you get caught up in the illusion of inclusion, your ass get O.J. Simpson. When you get caught up in the illusion of inclusion, your ass get Bill Cosby. Okay? When you get caught up in the illusion of inclusion, your ass, like there you go, Mike, you get Tiger Woods. Don't ever forget that. Because they always got a place for you. It doesn't make any difference of what you think. Okay? It's about what they think about you, and they will set you up to be taken down. Trading and investing is the great equalizer. It allows you to monetize the colonizer. You monetize their behavior as opposed to them getting paid from your manipulated behavior. Do we not understand and understand this? There's one other person I want to go over with you. I gave him to you before. I want you to research this brother. I had the pleasure of meeting him twice. First time, arrogance coming off of being, and he was being humble. But he still was arrogant, still caught up in the illusion of inclusion. Okay? Then the second time, he and I met at a conference. And he came over, and Dr. Reeves, good to see you again. A completely different person, because those in the system have broken him all the way down. This is this brother. Okay? Just like others got caught up in the illusion of inclusion on the geopolitical front, except Idi Amin, who played his cards to the end and ended up living a lap of luxury and dying of a physical ailment. He wasn't beheaded or executed or anything else. This person tried to do the same thing, such as he got caught up in the illusion of inclusion like the Tiger Woods, the Bill Cosbys, the O.J. Simpsons, the Saddam Husseins, and the Muammar Gaddafi. He got caught up in illusion of inclusion on Wall Street. This brother right here. See, that's him in his heyday. All right? But let me tell you something. When they came to get his ass, there was no cover for him. All right? He is known as what? For his role in Kidder Peabody trading loss in 1994. He wrote a book. I want you to read that book. It tells about this right here. Family, this happened. You know how much $350 million in 1994, what that'll be worth today? It tell you about the whole scandal. See, you're flying high, 36 years old, everything. Doing the whole thing, illusion of inclusion. You know, he got to be seen with people that don't look like him. He got to have their women. He got to do this, that, and the other. Okay, he living up on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. He done, you know, he looking down at you and all that. If you look like him, he ain't got time for you. He completely in the O.J. Simpson syndrome. Till they busted his behind. Then he want to run back to us and say, okay, no, I don't know him personally, and I don't want to know him personally. All right? Like I said, I've seen him casually at events, but no, See, this is the type of person who sold our people to the colonizers on the continent. Okay? This is the type of person that told about us meeting in the bush harbors when we was on the plantation and we about to run. This is the person, the type of person that told the master with the song "Wade in the Water" what it meant. He decoded the damn song, but oh hell no, I don't know him. Don't want to know him. Been exposed to him. So as I was saying, when he got popped, he was doing what they knew he was doing. But when the company got caught for authorizing him to do it, they made him the sacrificial Negro. When you read his book, he'll tell you about it. When they popped his ass, he didn't even know that they had done it. He saw it on the news. Saw his bitch, he's like, what the hell? He called back to the office, his extension been disconnected. His company credit cards with Kidder Peabody. He goes and try to get, they've been cut off. They popped him on a Friday evening. They cut off everything. And he sees himself on the news Monday. He had $3 million, read his book, in his Kidder Peabody account. They seized it Friday night. But see, he never would have believed they would do that to him because he thought he got caught up in the illusion of inclusion. Learn from this, family. When we go out here and trade and invest, we care about them about as much as they care about us, which is none, zero, nil. But see, all of this arrogance that you see in this picture and coming off, the energy coming off it, that was him before this happened right here in 1994. And when you get exposed to him now, like I said, I don't know him personally. He came up to me at a speaking engagement about 2 years ago I was at. All right. And, we chatted briefly, just casually about nothing. Because I kept it like that and kept it damn moving. All right. But it's amazing to see what the universe has done to him. See, the universe does not honor disobedience and lack of loyalty. If you have no honor, the universe will deal with you. See, when you go on TV and you're going to tell the world, you're going to talk to our people and tell us that we are deadbeat dads and we don't know how to take care of our own and we are just slutherly people and this, that, and the other, and you act like you speaking for all of us. Okay, who the hell gave you authority? That shit on TV, man, is fantasy. You ain't a spokesperson for me. But you're gonna say all black men ain't this, and black women keep having these children. They worthless, and we need to do all this. Oh, he giving the equivalent of what Booker T. Washington did when he gave the speech in Atlanta, talking about pull up yourself by your bootstraps. Hell, if I ain't got no damn boots, how am I gonna pull myself up? See, that's why when W.D. Bois fired back at Booker T. Washington, he said, look, I appreciate what you're doing down in Tuskegee, but man, don't you regulate our people to just toil in the soil. We got people that could be physicians. We got people who could be attorneys. We got people who could be engineers. That's right. We are limitless people. We're not just agriculturally based people. That was the great debate between Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. So here come another Booker T. Washington in the modern day, going to tell us what we ain't. The hell? But that universe ain't no joke. You're going to tell us what we shouldn't be doing when you out here. I won't even get into his charges. But you see how that universe handle things? You may deceive other people, other humanoids, but you cannot deceive the master of the universe and the universe upon which he allowed you to be placed. So when you trade and invest, and understand that your success of your portfolio is not regulated to the profits that you make and the quality of life that you're able to go ahead and entertain as a result of you knowing how to trade and invest, but you are liberating all of those that came before you, the shoulders upon which you stand, who didn't have the opportunity to learn about trading and investing, who didn't have the opportunity to monetize the oppressor, who looked and saw, heard and listened, but they had to do that just to survive. But now you are blessed to be exposed to all of this and then some, beloved, to know that people are out there like a Ted Turner who thinks a certain way. People who are out there like a Joseph Kennedy, okay, that does what he does in a diabolical nature to further his agenda. You got people out there who start out originally righteous, deals with the oppressor and Satan, then becomes to turn on his own people, then goes back and cut a deal with Satan and ends up living out the rest of his life in a lapse of luxury off the backs of our people who he raped and pillaged. And then you have those that get in the trading and investing system, and he gets caught up in the illusion of inclusion because he get a little bit of knowledge about trading and investing, and then he figure it out because he already got genius in him, okay, because he's a person of melanin, all right, and the ancestors of the creator already hardwired him, but then he too drinks the spiked Kool-Aid and gets caught up in the illusion of inclusion until they deal with his behind. Mm-hmm. And then you have those who get bigger than life. They think that they are the father, de facto father for all people of color. because they got a little show on television, which is purely fantasy. All right. The majority of people that look like me and you don't have parents. One's a doctor, one's an attorney. Then they got a perfect set of children, and they do this and they do that and all of this. And everything is fine within 30 minutes of each episode. All right. But because he getting paid, all right, off of our people. Notice now, majority of white folks wasn't watching the Cosby Show. It's majority of the people that were watching it look like me and you. So the white folks monetizing him off of what he can do to monetize people who look like him. So then he thinks this empowers him to go ahead and speak for all of us. Right? Until he committed a cardinal sin. That is to get on a level playing field with them. Listen to me as it relates to the entertainment industry. See, Bill Cosby used to hang out at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion, do all those freaky things, dope the women, do all this and that. Dick Gregory used to tell me about him. I'm about to go there, Anthony. That's what I'm talking about. Dick Gregory used to tell me about him and Red Fox. Okay, he told Red Fox, okay, if you don't get off them drugs, man, I'm not going. Red Fox had a nightclub that he opened up, and the nightclub was losing money. He go to Bill Cosby, okay, to ask for some money. Now, Bill Cosby always kept himself distance from our people per se. Go back and look at, go back and look at any civil rights footage and tell me who you don't see in it. I'm just giving it to you real now. You don't see any pictures of Bill Cosby in the civil rights movement. You know why? Because he was the co-star of a show called I Spy. He was the house nigga. He wasn't going to go ahead and be taken off of I Spy because he was down there singing We Shall Overcome in Selma, Alabama, or getting knocked in the head, okay, in Birmingham, Alabama, or having dogs sick to him. No, he ain't. So that's the, see, if you know Bill Cosby past, okay, you know the type of person. He ain't doing nothing. What has come out now, those that know, okay, Don King, Dick Gregory, peace and blessing be upon them, all of them that at his age, they know how Bill Cosby was. Listen to me. So what ended up happening was Red Fox went to Bill Cosby and said, look, man, I need you to loan me some money to hold my club over until I can get back on my feet. Bill Cosby told him, hell no, I'm not loaning you nothing. Because you on that white horse. Bad. So until you get off of that, you come back and see me. And when you come back and see me, you got to sign the club over to me. And then I'll consider loaning you money. Well, Red Fox was so deep on that white horse at that particular time. He said, no, I'm not doing that. Red Fox was so deep on that white horse that when he got paid in Vegas, he told him, don't pay me in money. Give me some of that powder. That's how bad it got for Red Fox. Now, what was sad was this was during the time that he had Sanford and Son. You remember him and Lamont? But see, he was on that powder so bad. That's why all of a sudden, if you look at the series, okay, they started having Aunt Ethel, okay, and then the Hispanic guy, they started having more and more roles. And they would have episodes with Fred. He would gone off on a trip. He was gone back to, and Grady, that's right. He's gone back to St. Louis. Y'all remember that? I'm telling you what I know now. Because the network was having problems with Fred. Fred be coked out. And so what ended up happening was, that was the type of person Bill Cosby was. He was the type of person, he would Warren Buffett your ass. When he showed up, if it wasn't on his terms and everything, he wasn't doing it. That's how Warren Buffett is. If he can't get preferred stock, he ain't buying into your company. So then what ended up happening with Bill Cosby, he run around like he the man in all of Hollywood. That as it relates to people who look like us, persons of color. But he committed the cardinal sin of trying to get on their same level playing field when he tried to buy NBC. That's when it went ballistic. That's when all of a sudden, you know what, you got that footage when he was in the Playboy Mansion and he did such and such. Yeah, and he been married to Camille over 30 years. So, okay, so we can, all right. So we going, all right. We about to start this defame thing on him. I want you to go back, find any women that he had at his house in Philadelphia. We got the tapes here, everything recorded here in the Playboy Mansion. So we got that here. Go and get that ass. The rest is history. Don't ever get caught up in the illusion of inclusion. I don't give a damn if you got $1 or $1 billion. You will be dealt with. Trading and investing is the great equalizer. Trade and invest knowing who you are and whose you are. But always know there is a clear line of demarcation, okay, in their mind pertaining to you and them. You live in a country, in a society that has a document that starts out with all men are created equal, born with certain inalienable rights. And it goes on. That is a hypocritical statement from the beginning. Because at that time, the people who wrote that, who authored that, had slaves. They were, okay, owners of other men. So how in the hell can all men be created equal when some men own other men? But you want to believe in the people, okay, the offspring of people who authored that document. When they say justice, they mean just for us. They mean them. When they say justice, they ain't talking about us. So when you trade and invest, you trade like a warrior of our ancestors. You go out here, don't ask them for no damn reparations. We go take it every time we sell the closed market order. They're paying back a tab that they owe you, me, we, the Beloved Wealth Institute family, and our ancestors. Every single time you sell the closed market order, you take pride when you push that button and you see that money transferred into your account. Family members, we have a moral, fiduciary, and spiritual obligation to get PAID. It's bigger than you and me. It's bigger than the Ashley Wealth Institute family. It's talking about our heritage, our people that have endured some of the unconscionable sins of life put forth by the colonizer. The colonization has not diminished. It still exists today. But instead of happening on soil, it's happening in the soil of your mind. They're colonizing your mind. That's how deviously clever the colonizer is. So the chains now have been placed around your brain. They're colonizing your thoughts, buying through advertisement, because they understand that your thoughts control your behaviors. Your mind controls the behind. But see, the one redeeming thing that will never be colonized if you allow it not to happen. It's the same thing that caused our Black Moses, Ancestor Queen Harriet Tubman, to free her brothers and sisters and go back again and free more and more. This sister had a $50,000 bounty on her head. Do you know how much $50,000 was back then? And she wasn't even 5 feet tall. But they knew. Get her by any means necessary. Because the one thing she never allowed them to colonize, she never allowed them to enslave, was her spirit. Don't ever relinquish your spirit, beloved. Because when you do that, you're done. But as long as you keep the spirit pure and clean and always have it in the light, then the colonizer can never colonize you. Period. You can come out here and trade and invest like a real warrior. You need to understand and understand. I'm going to give you one more. Please Google this person. You never hear them talk about this person in any of your history school, in any of your history classes. They don't even teach about this person, okay, in the HBCUs. And I did my undergraduate at an HBCU. But this person was so powerful that I'm about to put on the screen that he makes all of the so-called good Negroes that have made it in the capitalist system, from Oprah Winfrey all the way down to Robert Smith, to Bill Cosby, okay, all of those that you think have made money, that they're billionaires. The person I'm about to put up now makes them all pale, but nobody brings his name up when you talk about the most successful people that ever lived from a financial standpoint. You talk about the Rockefeller, you talk about the Astors, you talk about the Carnegies, you talk about the Goulds, et cetera, I can go on and on. But nobody, when they talk about the annals of capitalism, ever speak about this man and give him his praise and his due. Not to mention what he did for his people who look like me and you. I present this following person to you with all of the dignity that I can summon. Okay? Family members, tell your children about this person right here. Mansa Musa. Oh, my skin, oh, I get chills when I even mention merely utter his name. This man was so powerful and so wealthy that he caused a major disruption in the gold market. Oh, just investigate this brother right here. And you will see where you come from and how you have to master this trading and investing. The richest man in history. But if you never heard his name, you need to ask yourself, why haven't you? Because the colonizers don't want you to know from what you came. Back then, his wealth was estimated at $131 billion. Damn, Bill Gates. But damn, Jeff Bezos. This man actually lived. We're talking about in the 1300s. Family members, you got to know from which you came to plot where you want to go. His genetics resonate in you. So when you come out here trading and investing, know that this is from which you come. This man, everyone on the planet, kneeled at his feet. And because he was a Muslim, he had to make his trek to Mecca. When you read about how he traveled to Mecca, how many people he took, and how he disrupted the economies of scale going to Mecca, because he was giving away gold. And the whole gold market collapsed because he gave away so much gold. The man was giving it away. Mansa Musa. All praises be to the ancestors and the Creator. Family members, take the information that has been submitted to you today and is Asterisk Wealth Institute Virtual Trader and monetize it. It is useless unless you monetize. And know that we're going to get together again this Saturday, Tier 1 and Tier 2 class in session. We're talking about December the 21st. And I've got some information that I'm going to give you in both classes that is immediately monetized. Let not your heart be troubled, for you stand on the shoulders of masters of the universe, such as people like Mansa Musa. All praises be to the ancestors and the Creator. Like always, family, an honor to be with each and every one of you doing this, another Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute Virtual Trader. It's an honor to serve each and every one of you. And we want you to know that we serve you for the love of each and every one of you. Peace and blessings be upon each and every one of you. This Ask the Wiz Wealth Institute is now dismissed. Go out and get PAID.